Shalom, and you're now locked in here at Israelite Talk TV, where you get nothing but the raw and the real whenever I'm in front of the camera. So make sure y'all show the page some love, like, subscribe, and share. Shalom, and you're now locked in here. What about now? Can you guys hear me now? Drop something in the chat. Let me know if I'm live now. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's start this again, right? Because you guys didn't hear anything I said. First and foremost, welcome back to another episode here at Israelite Talk TV. One of the #1 platforms where you do not get any paid media points. Okay, no paid media. And yeah, we got the sound effects working now. Okay. But let me turn this music off. My live yesterday for some reason wasn't coming through pretty good, so I'm gonna shut that down. But with that being said, family, you guys see the title, right? Petty Polight, okay. Influencer by day and petty by night, okay. And we just gonna shorten that word up a little bit, right? But at the end of the day, this guy right here was just found guilty, okay, on child molestation charges, right, down in Florida. Just to kind of bring you guys up to date on what's going on here. Back in 2021, I believe it was, Polite was arrested for child molestation. Okay. Basically, the lady that he was dealing with, right? She had a young 14-year-old daughter, right? And the sound, from what she stated concerning the situation, the young girl was going through some issues, right? Polite basically tells, this woman that he's going to sit down, he's going to talk to her, wooty wooty woo. Okay. So somehow it got to the point where she was trying to go to the club at 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, like, this stuff is crazy because it's like the child is only 14 years old, right? So I guess she needed a ride to the club or whatever, and it was closed, right? So somehow in between there, they're saying that the young child ended up at his hotel room or something like that. And uh it was, basically semen and stuff found on her on his scarf or on the girl or whatever the case may be, right? So they've people have been given Polite the benefit of the doubt, right? But now there is no more benefit of the doubt. We actually have the audio, and I'm pretty sure you guys have heard it, but I'm going to dissect it in this live tonight. um but we have the audio from the court hearing where he was found guilty for the child molestation charges. Okay. So we're gonna go over that. So no more is it allegedly this, and we got the man on tape pleading guilty, admitting to the crimes. So there's nothing else to talk about, right? He didn't go to trial, so he's waived his rights. So it's over with. He took this plea. Okay, they sentenced him to 7 years and some more stuff, and we're going to be getting into that here in a little bit, right? But it's crazy how Brother Polite attempted to go against the Israelites, okay, years ago. The video was floating around on the internet, YouTube. You guys can see it, right? But here's the deal, right? The problem with this so-called conscious community is that um it's not standing on nothing, right? What are you talking about, Big Light? Whenever you look at, let's use the Israelites for an example, right? One of the things as an Israelite that we understand as we study Tanakh is that we have laws and commandments that we have to follow, okay, that Yahuwah has instituted, right? And we have to follow those laws, right? The problem with this so-called conscious community, they have no laws or ordinances that's governing them. They're basically doing this stuff on the fly. They're doing it as they go. They have nothing and nobody that they have to be held accountable to, right? This doctrine, this madness that these brothers, those like Polite. I'm not gonna say everybody is kicking the same stuff, but the people that was pushing and peddling this false doctrine that the black woman is God, right? This is madness, right? Because we already know that Tanakh teaches us that the Most High, the Honorable Yahuwah, took the rib out of the side of Adam, and this is where the woman came from. Okay, so this tells us that the man was here first, and that the woman came from the man. Okay, so all of this madness about the black woman is God is nothing more than a ploy to prey on black women. This is nothing more than what this is designed to do. It's designed to prey on weak women, okay? Women that that don't know any better, right? Okay? And you guys got to understand this. And we're going to be talking about this more to come up the road. But I mean, if you studied the Bible, you read the Bible, we know who in the beginning was tempted. Okay. Adam was there way before the woman was on the scene, but the woman was targeted. Okay. And this is why a lot of times today, this is why we have to protect and shield our sisters, right? Because we have to understand that these wolves is out here. How many times do we see stuff going on where, we have to tell people like our girls, or, our mothers, our sisters, when they got stuff that's going on. Let me look at that and see what's going on here, because you got wolves out there and they're going to target women because women are going to be easy going. Okay. A lot of times women just gonna, they just gonna go with the flow just to go with the flow. Men are gonna be like, let me look at that. No, well, no, I don't think we should do that. Nah, hey, I'll talk to you, right? So at the end of the day, this is what this doctrine and this stuff that they're peddling is designed to do. Now, shout out to the brothers that's part of the conscious community that's actually kicking and dropping knowledge and shooting everything, straight from the hip. Fair, you know what I mean? But anyway, we're gonna get into this. Before I get into this, make sure y'all like this video, make sure y'all share this stream, right? Because whenever you got predators that's in the community, okay, that's fumbling and moving around, we have to bring the light to this situation. We have to shine light on it, and we have to make our people aware, okay? Because, and I'm gonna get into this as we start going through the lady's statement, okay? And then because one of the things that she stated was that she didn't want to go to trial because because of her daughter. And I understand that. We, until you actually go through something like that, you would never know how traumatized the child is, things like that. And then as a parent, you're trying to shield and protect certain things. But let me save that. I'm gonna say that to when I get to her, and I'm gonna come back to that. But make sure you guys share this video, like this video, and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, right? Okay. Now I want to be fair in what I'm doing, right? So we're gonna bring up the statement that Polight did right before the trial and all of this stuff started, right? Okay. So let me get that. Let's get that in the queue, right? So we're gonna go through this, right? And I want you guys to listen at the madness that this guy is bringing forth, okay? And we're gonna chop down all the lies, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly where Polight, where he been messing up at, right? And the lies that he's been telling and try to get out of this situation. Because let me tell you something. You can lie and bedazzle the people out here. You have to understand that the people in the world today, they don't want to risk going to that plantation. Okay. And that plantation I'm talking about is prison. And we see it all too many times where these guys are getting caught and they gonna tell on their mama, their best friend, and whoever it is, their kids and all type of stuff to stay off that plantation because they know how ruthless it is in jail. Okay. But when you get into jail, the predators don't feel that way about you. You know what I'm saying? They gonna get it how they live, and they gonna look out for you, because that's one of the things right there that is a big no-no. So to all the people out there where you see brother Polight showing all these pictures and stuff with him working out, he getting ready, because when he get in there, he gonna have to get out, you know what I'm saying? Or he just gonna sit in PC, right? Now let's listen to this clown, you know what I'm saying, and how he tries to lie and maneuver his way out of this guilty plea that he know he had to take. Okay, now let's run this clip.
The mother and the daughter and the prosecution dropped every single sexual charge. I'm saying it again. The mother, the daughter, my accusers, in addition to the state, the prosecution, all agreed they need to drop all of the sexual charges. So yeah, it's a victory, but it's bittersweet. It's a victory because I was facing life. No parole, no probation. Now you may say, how could this be possible if a minor was so-called molested and it was DNA evidence? And people say DNA don't lie. And I always said, people do. Well, let's do this. The serologist, the expert that so-called found 6 semen stains amongst a headscarf and a t-shirt. Never mind the fact the whole rape kit said negative, negative, negative. They checked this girl for 5 different types of DNA, finger DNA, all types of different DNA. Checked her vagina, checked her mouth, checked her saliva.
Now, family, right? Okay, let's pause this for a quick second, right? Because I'm getting ready to show you guys some. pay attention to the words that Pedi Polight is using, right? He's trying to tell us that none of this stuff, that the kids, all this stuff came back, nothing was found, right? Okay. Nothing was found, right? Now listen, I'm gonna let him keep going, right? But he's telling us basically, man, nothing was found, nothing woo, right? Okay. Now listen to this.
Checked her excrement, checked her feces, checked her urine. Everything came up negative. You would think because of all the violent acts I was accused of, how I came inside of her, how I came on her face, how I bust her mouth open from penetrating her so physically, that there would be some kind of trace of something, some kind of DNA. But the rape kit came up all negative. So now we're in a conundrum. So how the hell how does the DNA just skip to a t-shirt and a headscarf? Well, the serologist that did the report that labeled it semen stains, when you got high-powered attorneys such as myself, then what happens is when you spend damn near 200 grand.
Now listen, here's the finesse right here. You spent over 200 grand and you still got 7 years penitentiary and 10 years probation. Okay. High powered lawyers. Now, you know what? While he's talking, I'm gonna find that clip real quick, right, of his lawyer. I'm gonna let him talk because his lawyer was talking that cash money talk at the beginning, like, oh, my client is innocent and wooty woo, and all the facts come out. I'm gonna find that while he's talking real quick. Okay. But listen to this clown, right?
On your defense, you have the right to do depositions. We have our own private investigator. We have our own, guess what, forensics expert. So our forensics expert said this. Our forensics expert said, we want to take a look and see what's going on over there. So when our forensics expert took a look and examined these so-called clothes with semen stains, we had some questions about how did you definitively conclude that that was semen in the first damn place. So guess what happens after that? A deposition is when we interview anybody that's part of the situation, whether it be the mother, the daughter, the people who took the 911 call, whoever. The prosecutor gets to sit in while we interview them, while there's a court-appointed stenographer that types up everything, and the prosecutor can hear everything as it goes so they can make a determining factor if they got a case or not. Point in case, we couldn't interview the serologist, Stephanie Thompson, because she mysteriously disappears when we want to question her about how she came up with those results. I'll say it again.
Now, let me say this, fam. This right here is a lie, right? Because if all of this stuff is true with what he's saying, there's no way in the world that the judge is going to find him guilty. There's no way in the world that the judge is going to allow. Now you got to understand, these are people's lives that we're talking about. You're telling me that the woman that said that, okay, this is semen that was on the scarf, we could interview her, we couldn't do none of this stuff, but that's your right, though. You see what I'm saying? So you want us to believe that the court set up here, y'all couldn't find this woman, couldn't interview her, couldn't do none of this stuff, and the judge just G for that. He just went for that. It's all good. It's a lie, man. It's a lie all day long, man. Okay, so let me let this clown keep going, man.
Person who said that there was semen stains on the headscarf and the shirt, despite the fact the rape kit tested for 5 different DNAs, considering the egregious acts that I was accused of, the rape kit came up all negative, which science would suggest I did absolutely none of the things that I was accused of. Science would suggest I did absolutely none of the things that I was accused of. Okay? All right? That's what science would suggest. Science would suggest that. But here's this woman talking about this DNA evidence, and then now when we call her so we can interview her, get a deposition, and have it on record with my attorneys questioning them based on the findings of our forensic expert, she's nowhere to be found. So you know what we could do now? We could file a motion to dismiss the DNA for the case. That's what we could do. Because if we go to trial, we won't be able to cross-examine her because suddenly she disappears. She works for some private company and no one could find her. Now, all the while, the state been giving me opportunities to plead.
So let's just stop right here, family. So he's telling us that the lady that gave the sample that basically said this is what it was, they can't find her. Where in America do they do that at? How is this woman gonna say, okay, this is what it is right here? It's a court session that's going on, and she just can't be found. She just disappear in trial. And it's like, come on, man, that right there is one of the main things that one of the probably the strongest things in the case is the semen. You know what I'm saying, on the scarves or whatever the case may be. How in the world ain't this woman present when this is a case that she's already entered in for the state and they got to do this and that? She's just up and missing. This dude is lying, man. This dude is lying. There's no way in the world that what he's saying is true. There's no way. The case would have been dismissed.
20 years sexual offender. Plea 15 years sexual offender. And I'm like, I wouldn't care if you gave me 1 day in prison. So long as you got that label registered sex offender on there, I'm going to trial. So long as you got that label there, registered sex offender, I'm going to trial because I can never make a plea to something like that. So guess what happens? The state says if we ever want to do interviews, depositions, if we ever want to get a deposition from the mother and a deposition from the daughter, all bets are off. They'll never do an agreement with me. They said they'll never do an agreement. Never do an agreement. Work out an agreement or a plea. I said, I don't give a... My attorneys will tell you straight up, because when you see my attorney video, he's going to tell you straight up. From day one, I said, I'm never doing an agreement to any sexual charges. Interview the mother and the daughter. So they are the last of our depositions. We got the police body cams. We realized...
Now, fam, here go the cap right here. Now, he told the lawyer that he's not taking no plea deals or none of this, but yet he turned around and took a plea deal. Like, come on, man. Stop with the cap, man. Stop trying to finesse. This is a lie. This is cap, man. There's nowhere in the world that he told his lawyer, oh, man, I'm not taking no, but then you turned around, you took a plea. You're lying, brother. You're lying. Okay?
That the police report contradicts the affidavit that they did. The affidavit contradicts the interviews that they did on the body cam. So we got 3 contradictions. The story that the mother and daughter tells on the body cam, the stories that they told in the police report, and the stories that they tell on the affidavits. None of them work out. And I'm going to speak about that. But ultimately, we want to interview them. So when we interview them and do our depositions, have the prosecutor sit there, we already know where they're lying. We already know their lies. We looked at each of the 3 different types of lies they said for that night. So guess what's going to happen when we get to interview them? We're just going to ask them questions so they can contradict themselves. So when we go to court, we can ask them which story is true and why did you lie? So the prosecutor hits us again. Well, you know he's going to be facing life. We're in the week now where we got to interview the mother and daughter to get the deposition. So guess what happens 2 days before the mother and daughter are supposed to fly into town for us to get the depositions? They call. After a week ago threatening me, 2 days before the mother and daughter are supposed to fly out, they say, hey, we drop all the sexual charges. Huh? They say we're dropping all the sexual charges. And let me add something to this. Y'all heard this crazy story that I called a grown woman and asked if I could take her 14-year-old girl to a party. And y'all believe that bullshit. But guess what my text messages say? My text messages say, she asked me. Oh, hold on, let's reverse. Do you know that we broke up that same day? And later that, within a day, within 24 hours, she filed a criminal complaint. Let's add some more color to it. Do you know that the same day that I broke up with her, in my text messages, it's proven she said she was going to destroy my life. She was going to fuck my whole shit up. So we have motive. Do you know that I wasn't the one that asked to take her daughter to a party after 2 a.m. in the morning? Do you know my text messages say? She contacted me and asked me to take her daughter out to a party after 2 a.m. in the morning, and I vehemently declined because I said, what the hell do I look like as a grown man taking a 14-year-old that obviously looks like a minor to a party? Y'all don't know that, though. All of this is in my text messages. Y'all don't know that, though. So you say, well, then, Polight, then you should be clean. I should be, but unfortunately, the mother turned her daughter in. The daughter got high and intoxicated, and because I'm not the one that turned them in, now we dealing with child abuse and delinquency of a minor. If they could, so I'm like, let's fight it, let's fight it. So my attorney's like, I just want you to understand that this child abuse in Florida, aggravated child abuse, from the child being intoxicated, they can give you 30 years in prison. I'm like, man, take the goddamn agreement. If, under what circumstances, if they could convince a jury that whether you gave her alcohol or you was aware that she was high at any point in time and you didn't turn her in, but since the mother did, you could be subject to 30 years. So I said, let's make a goddamn agreement, man, and let's work this thing out. So still got to sit down somehow, some way, but it is what it is. Blessings in abundance is bitter.
Okay. I got it from here, right? Now, this guy right here is straight cap, man. Let me tell you something, right? I wouldn't give a damn what they talking about. Some 30 years to a minor for drinking whatever. That has nothing to do with the charges that you was found guilty of, okay? That's one charge, okay? And we're going to get to those charges here in a minute. But my thing is this. If I know that I did not do something, there's nowhere in the hell I'm taking a plea bargain on nothing. Okay. Y'all just gonna have to give me life and I'll catch y'all back on the peel. You know what I'm saying? Because if everything what he's saying is accurate, there's no way that he was gonna sit in jail that long. So this tells us one or two things right here. It tells us that Polight is already scared to go to jail. Okay. He's already scared to go to jail because if you worried about getting life, why would you care anything about the life and I'm facing this and that if you didn't do nothing? If you did not do nothing, what is you scared of? Why would you be worried about, oh, they said I was going to get life and this and that? That's for stuff for people that's guilty. Oh, man, they said they're going to give me life. Okay, man, I better take a plea bargain or something like that. That's what's going on with that. There's no way in the world that I'm innocent of something and I'm just going to plead guilty just because man, come on, man. All of that is madness, man. And then they saying you didn't turn the daughter in. Turn the daughter into who? Do y'all know how many kids throughout America is underage minors that's getting messed up, getting towed up and all of this stuff? Who was he supposed to turn the child into? You see what I'm saying? So all of this stuff is a lie. And he's saying this because he knew that he had signed that plea and that listen, if they did not have any evidence, matter of fact, let me add this. Let's get him off the screen, right? I want you guys to listen to his lawyer, right? Now check this out, right? Check this out. Okay, check this out right here, family. Okay, check this out right here. You know what? Let's do this. Let me add that in here. All right, now check this out right here, family, right?
If he could take her daughter to an after party at a club in Miami. The report states Nowak took the teen to his hotel after seeing that the club was closed. Police say the suspect gave the teen alcohol and started dancing and touching the teen inappropriately, groping her breast, inner thighs, and buttocks. It goes on to say Nowak tried to force the teen to perform oral sex on him. The teen allegedly passed out and woke up to Nowak trying to make her throw up.
These are serious allegations. But in any situation, there is always motive. There is always a lot behind the scenes that the public is not going to be able to see.
The report states that the girl's mother found her intoxicated and possibly on drugs with severe swelling on her mouth and lips. It later states Nowak told the mother not to call police because.
So now family, now listen to this, right? Listen to this.
Would ruin his career. Nowak was served with a DNA warrant in June and surrendered to police on Monday. Terrace says the police report is only an allegation.
So right here, right? Okay, right here, we could clearly see how the lawyer came out and basically saying, man, my client innocent, man. When it's time to woo, the facts come out, it's going to be this and that. So how did we go from that to then all of a sudden, man, I talked to my lawyer, it's going to be in the best interest. If the lawyer came to him and told him that, man, you're going to be facing all this time, it's obviously because the lawyer said, listen, man, there's no way we're going to be able to get around this, right? It's going to be better for you to just go ahead and take the plea deal and just get on out the way. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be the easiest thing for you to do, right? Now, let me add Miss Linda to the we're going to add Miss Linda to the live, right? Then you guys can hear what she said, okay? Some of you guys may have heard this. If not, then hey, go ahead and tune in and listen to what she had to say.
Making a statement regarding this. Where would it be? It should say victim and then in parentheses Nowak. Milk, sorry. You see it when it says victim nope?
Okay, yes, 1 second. All right, you may unmute, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, so what I'd like you to do is, well.
And just in case you guys don't know, this is the lady right here, Miss Linda right here, on the screen right here, who daughter that was that Polight pled guilty to the charges on. Okay. And I'm gonna come back to this here in a minute, man. When I after they get done speaking, once I start to give my commentary. But this woman is not a bad looking woman. This is not, this is not a woman that, you should be going for her daughter. You know what I'm saying? So that tells us that it's a bigger picture here. But let her speak real quick, right?
You don't want to give your name. So at this point, just go ahead and you can give us an impact statement. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Michael Nowak. This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I. I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that, my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster, a demon. The very first time that I allowed you to be alone with my daughter, the very first time, and you couldn't even help yourself. You told me you was gonna be right back. You were going downstairs. You were gonna grab food and take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about loving and respecting me as a great mother that I was and am. And I actually believed you. I believed that you were going to bring her right back. I thought you were going to have this trusting conversation with her that you promised me. Her and I both trusted you. For a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her. Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. You sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then forced her to see things that no child should ever have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that...
Now, family, let me say this real quick, right? Okay. We've heard the cases where some of our more successful entertainers, athletes, things of that nature have been accused of rape and things like that, right? If you listen to the voice of this woman, right, you can tell that she is absolutely serious about the things that she's saying. Okay. This is not scripted. This is this woman telling it straight how it is from the heart. You can hear it in her voice. This is not that, oh, I'm trying to. No, this is a woman that's truly hurt about what happened to her daughter. Okay. And you can hear it in her voice. Okay. So I just wanted to make that note so that you guys can, as you listening to her tell her side of the story, okay, really see how this woman is really telling it how it is. Okay. So let's let her keep on talking.
That was found in her system.
Damn.
And you thought your master plan was mapped out perfectly, huh? You thought I'd be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me. You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely not. And although you executed your plan and you got what you wanted those couple of hours, you actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning. And I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me. And I called her too, but you took her phone. You drugged my baby and you gave her no...
Now, family, she said she called that man 50 times, right? 50 times. This woman is not lying. What reason would she have to call him 50 sometimes and he's not picking up the phone? That right there is telling you that you're into something that you should not be into, because if this woman is calling you 50 sometimes, it don't take no 50 times to call you before you pick up the phone. I mean, you really are into whatever it is you got going on where you cannot pick the phone up if she's calling you 50 times. Okay. Now let's let her continue, right?
Way to seek help. You left me no way to contact her or even know where she was. I get physically sick now whenever I'm away from my daughter because of you. Something as simple as her going to school, I'm in panic mode. Because I'm scared when she comes back, she's going to be hurt all over again. I constantly have flashbacks of that night. And what she lives with is not okay. She feels uncomfortable around people and will live with this forever, and this is not fair to her. She never deserved this. Shame on you for forcing evil on our youth. And for a year, I questioned, how could you even do this to us? Her and I did nothing wrong to you. We trusted you. I moved across the country because I believed everything that you told me. But it was pure manipulation I see now. All you do is specialize in selling false dreams. How could you do this to an innocent child and mother who simply trusted you? We did nothing wrong. But you know what? I'm done breaking my head trying to question or figure out how you could do such a thing. It's so simple to me now. You're just a sick man. A man you can have a plethora of women, but you secretly prefer to have a child. And it's so clear now.
Now let's stop right there real quick, right? Okay. Because she just said something that I want to make a point on. This is one of my biggest problems with child molesters, okay? You could have any women in the world, right? Okay. You say you got money, right? It doesn't take a whole lot of money to get these Instagram models and all of these different women and things like that. It doesn't cost you any money, no money to do that, right? You could basically have almost any woman that you want, right? Now, here's the thing, right? If you're going to sit down and sleep with a little child, right? That tells me that mentally you have a problem that's going on. There's something that's going on upstairs. Me personally, I can't speak for everybody else. I could not personally even, get into sleeping with a 13, 14-year-old like that. I mean, like this is mind blowing, but for a man to be in a position, this is a perfect example, family, that money does not bring you happiness. People are who they are. You know what I'm saying? If you're a predator before you got money, you're gonna be worshiped with money. You know what I'm saying? Here you have this woman, right? Okay. This is not an ugly woman. This is not just somebody that, you know what I'm saying? This is a woman that's attractive. And for him to bypass that to go for the daughter, it's a problem, fam. And not only did he just go for the daughter, he jumped on the daughter. So it's like, come on, man. So let's let her finish up, and then I'm gonna wrap my commentary up, okay?
I will never be able to fully trust another person due to the betrayal that you've shown me. And for that, I was not willing to trust 6 strangers and go to trial. Nor was I going to put my daughter through an additional trauma. This plea was in our best interest. You and I both know the evidence is extremely substantial. But even with that, I refuse to have my child be tormented when she's done nothing wrong. All she holds is the truth. And I will say this. Although you were so worried about being labeled a sex offender, you did us a huge favor by admitting to guilt, period. So for that, I thank you. I truly thank you. Yes, mitigation took place, and I allowed it as long as it meant you going to prison and you getting true help. Because true help means no more victims. The fact that your only non-negotiable was to accept the sex crime shows exactly the type of man that you are. You know what you did in that hotel room. I know what you did, and my daughter knows what you did. DNA doesn't lie. There's no reason why your DNA should have been found on my baby. And yes, I satisfied your bogus request to not be labeled a sex offender, but it doesn't take away from who you truly are. I wasn't going to waste any time going back and forth with you over a label. God will judge you for exactly the person he knows you to be. A sexual predator. So rest assured, jail time equals jail time. And I pray that during your 10 years of sex offender probation, you actually receive the treatment that you need, and it helps heal your sick mind and get the thoughts of being with children out of it. All you care about is your pretend image, but I know exactly who you are now. You want to be this public figure, but you want to do all your evil acts in secret. You're so self-centered. That's why the last time I saw you on February 27, 2021, you fought me. You tried to hold me hostage from taking my daughter to the hospital. I'll never forget that cowardly look in your eyes. I'll never forget it. You were so scared. You were so scared because you realized you messed with the wrong one. Your last words to me, you held me and said, please don't go. You're going to ruin my career. Well, today, September 6th, 2023, my last words to you are, I hope the next 17 years of your life, you're reminded of the disgusting, terrifying, unforgettable act that you've done to my innocent daughter. Shame on you. And although you've caused a tremendous amount of trauma for myself and my daughter, We will, and will always be superior of you, because a successful, honest career is something that you could never, ever have. We will both continue to stand against violence. My daughter will continue to persevere and be bright and intelligent and courageous young woman that she is. So Michael Nowak, I hope you enjoy prison, and God bless you.
Making a statement regarding.
Okay, so that was her statement at court. We're going to get to that in a minute. One of the things that I want to add to that, and I understand, like I said, I know that the lady is in distress, you know, her daughter, you know, having to go through that. And then, you know, like I said, you know, it's a crazy situation because he was messing with the mother. Okay. So if you're messing with the mother and then you do this to the daughter, you know, there's going to be trauma there. Okay. But I would say this right here. I understand she didn't want to go to trial, but I would have went to trial. And the reason why is because not only are you, you know, in a situation like this, have to protect your child, but you also have to protect other children out there. You know, if this, because what he was found guilty with, he needs to be being registered, you know, as a sex offender, because he's going down for sex offender crimes, you know. So that was part of the plea that the family worked out, but she didn't have to work that. She just could have said, hey, because she said in the thing that the evidence was overwhelming. And it sounds like the evidence was overwhelming because the man copped out. Okay. Nowhere in America, if you, man, listen, people would be dead nuts and they still not going. No, man, I'm not guilty. So this tells you that for him to plead guilty, the evidence was overwhelming. Okay. Now, before we go in, let's allow him to speak, you know, with the judge, and listen to what the judge had to say, and listen to what he had to say and what he played out for. And this right here is going to tell the tale, right? This is going to tell the tale right here, right? Okay. Let's get this added to the screen.
Okay, I'll need the old information. I want the defendant to be aware of what he was originally facing and what the new information. This is the new information. I didn't give it to you. Oh, I have one back here. All right. Okay, can you tell me your full name and date of birth?
Michael Eugene Note Jr., August 10th, 1983.
All right, thank you. You were originally charged under case number F21-14438 with the following charges: lewd and lascivious molestation on a child, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Count 2 was lewd and lascivious molestation on a child, 12 to 16 years, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Lewd and lascivious conduct on a child under 16 by a defendant 18 or over, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Count 4, lewd and lascivious exhibition on a child under 16 years, defendant over 18, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. And contributing to the dependency of a child, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail. And then count 6 is
So family, let's stop right there, right? The account that he was talking about, right? Now you see how he set up there and lied, right? He said with the contributing to the minor, his lawyer was like, now listen, did y'all hear what the judge just said? That was only punishable by a year, right? Okay, let's bag that up a little bit, right? Listen to what the judge said.
punishable by up to 1 year in jail. And then count punishment misdemeanor, exhibition on a child under 16 years, defendant over 18, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. And contributing to the dependency of a child, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail. And then count 6.
So it was none but a year in jail that he was facing for that. But then he gonna try to tell us that meant the lawyer said that if they find you guilty on that, they can give you life and this and that for contributing to a minor. No, they couldn't, because that charge only carry a year. You know what I'm saying? So the man sat right there and lied right there on live and said, man, my lawyer them said that if I would have got found guilty of that for contributing, it's a year. So I said, let's sit down and do a deal. No. Stop it. Okay. That charge is the leastest charge of all of the stuff you was charged with. Okay. That's the least that you was charged with.
Is interference with custody, a third-degree felony punishable by up to 5 years state prison. The state has now filed an amended information today charging you with the following: aggravated child abuse, great bodily harm, a first-degree felony punishable by up to 30 years state prison. Count 2 is...
So family, did you see what the judge just said, right? At first, that's what he was charged with, right? The first, the lewd, all of this other stuff, right? Then they filed an amended thing for charges, right? Because this is coming after the fact. They beefed those charges up. Oh, yes, they did. Listen, let me bag him up real quick, right?
Felony punishable by up to 30 years state prison. Count 2 is aggravated child abuse, great bodily harm.
Hold on, let me get that back. You see how it went? Hold on, let's back him up.
Child under 16 years, defendant over 18.
Listen, let me back him up.
Under 16 by a defendant, a second-degree felony punishable by up to with the following charges: lewd and lascivious molestation on a child, a second-degree felony punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Count 2 was lewd and lascivious molestation on a child.
You see how they said lewd and lascivious on a. Now watch when they go to the amended. That's gonna be aggravated. See, aggravated means it's not a lower charge anymore. All of that stuff is beefed up now. Okay, listen to what he's saying.
12 to 16 years, a second-degree felony punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Lewd and lascivious conduct on a child under 16 by a defendant 18 or over, a second-degree felony punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Count 4, lewd and lascivious exhibition on a child under 16 years, defendant over 18, a second-degree felony punishable by up to 15 years state prison. And contributing to the dependency of a child, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail. And then count 6 is interference with custody, a third-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years state prison. The state has now filed an amended information today charging you with the following: aggravated child abuse, great bodily harm, a first-degree felony, punishable by up to 30 years state prison.
You see how when they said the amended, the first one was, up to 15 years. Now, it's beefed up. It's up to 30 years, right?
Count 2 is aggravated child abuse, great bodily harm, a first-degree felony, punishable by up to 30 years state.
See, ain't no more 15 years. Number 30 pieces, right? Okay. That's 30-60 right there, right? Let's keep going here.
Prison and contributing to the dependency of a child, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail. It is my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to this new information. You would be adjudicated guilty, and your sentence has been memorialized in a 4-page plea agreement. Did you have the opportunity to go over this plea agreement with your lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. I do need the defendant to initial each page because there are not initials on these pages. All right. Joack, that you have gone over this plea agreement with your lawyer, and I want to go over it with you, not each and every aspect of it, but the major components of the plea agreement. But what I am going to ask is for the state to tell me the general terms of the plea agreement, and then we will go into the details on the contract. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the plea agreement includes an adjudication, 7 years of state prison, followed by 10 years of reporting probation. As a condition of probation, the defendant will...
When you say 10 years probation.
10 years reporting probation.
Okay.
The defendant will complete the MDSO program. The defendant will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with children. The defendant will have specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform.
So family, do you hear they laying out the whole plea, right? He's going over it with his lawyer. He said he's good with it, right? How in the world can a man that's innocent plead out to that, man? This is madness. I would have to listen. Me personally, me knowing that I did not touch on any little children or none of this stuff that he got charged with doing, right? There's no way in the world that I would cop out to a day in prison for that. That's not going on my jacket nowhere, no way possible. I'm not pleading to nothing. I would have to die in trial. But if you listen to what the judge said, they beefed those charges up to aggravated child molestation. That means that what? Information was poured in and they got the evidence that they needed in order to send them up the river. This is why the lawyer was like, you heard what the lawyer said. Oh, my client is innocent, this and that. That's not what they saying on here. That's not what they saying in court. Okay. Listen to this.
There are additional terms of restitution, of which $5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours, mailed to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody. And that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement. Additionally, there will be a stay away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
Okay. All right.
Counsel going to be providing probation with the proof of the $5,000 being paid?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931? Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are...
You heard what he said, right? Yeah. Okay.
Going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison, to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete a mentally disordered sex offender treatment program, that you are also not eligible. Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for early termination if all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page next to defendant's initials MN. Did you, in fact, affix those initials to each page?
I did.
And have you reviewed each and every component of this plea agreement going through page 1 and through page 4?
I have.
Now, it says on page 4, having read the above mentioned terms of this plea agreement and having been advised by my counsel, David Terrace, I, Michael Noak, freely and voluntarily enter into this plea agreement and agree to abide by all terms and conditions of this plea agreement, and agree that failure to comply with any terms or conditions within this agreement constitutes a violation of probation and subjects me to be sentenced to the statutory maximum penalties provided by law for the crimes for which I am now pleading guilty. And then it has a signature over the name Michael Noah. Is that in fact your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I am now going to place my signature on this plea agreement. in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of Florida and your attorney. Has anybody, including your lawyer, told you anything differently than what I've just told you?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication affecting your ability to understand me?
No.
Is anybody forcing, threatening, or coercing you to enter into this plea?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, the entry of this plea will have negative immigration consequences, including deportation and removal?
Understand.
You had the right, sir, to have gone to a jury trial where your lawyer had the ability to compel the attendance of witnesses on your behalf, the ability to confront and cross-examine the witnesses and evidence against you. You had the right to testify just like any other witness or remain silent.
Now, family, let's stop that right there, right? Now, y'all remember when Holmes said, oh, they said we couldn't question the lady that found the semen, that said it was semen and this and that. He just said, yeah. The judge just told him, now, you know, you could have did this, and this. Why didn't he say, that'd have been a perfect time to say, well, we was trying to talk to whatchamacallit, and she was missing and this and that. But you know what I'm saying? He didn't say none of that. Okay. The judge clearly asked him, and let's bag that up a little bit. The judge asked him, listen what he said.
United States citizen, the entry of this plea will have negative immigration consequences, including deportation and removal.
Understand.
You had the right, sir, to have gone to a jury trial where your lawyer had the ability to compel the attendance of witnesses on your behalf, the ability to confront and cross-examine the witnesses and evidence against you.
You see that right there? He had the right to cross-examine and go against all the evidence that was against him. So when he said in that video, oh, well, the lady that was supposed to be doing this, the man lied. He already knew, because the woman already said, Linda, she's already said that the only thing he was worrying about is that he didn't want to have to register as a sex offender. So that means that the lawyers were negotiating, going back and forth about a plea deal, right? So that means that he already knew that he was finna cop out to these 7 years in these charges, while he got online and tried to flex and act like, you know, like he had beat the case and everything. But once again, the judge, the judge is telling him, you know, you had the right to cross-examine all of these people and all of this stuff that was going on. And he said what? He said, yes, I know. So why would he get on Instagram and turn around and put out this fake video? You know what I'm saying? Fake this move and act like the charges was dropped, and he would. The only thing that the guy did not plea out to, or wasn't required to do in a plea bargain, was register as a sex offender. Okay, but he still have the charges, and they still said in the plea agreement that he still can't be around kids and things like that of that nature. Okay. So this is madness, man.
You had the right to testify just like any other witness, or remain silent, and your silence could not have been used against you if you went to a jury trial. You also have the right to appeal any mistakes that I would have made during the course of the trial, and the right to hold the state of Florida to the burden of proving these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand, sir, that by entering into this plea, that you are giving up all of these rights, and we will not have a jury trial?
I do.
Have you discussed this plea with your lawyer?
Yes.
So right there. So look, so right there, he spoke to the lawyer, and they went over all of this stuff. And obviously the lawyer told him, I can't save you. Okay. I don't care how much money you spend, with the evidence they got, I cannot save you. What I can do for you is get you a good plea bargain. Okay. Let me show you something, guys. Look at this guy right here, family. Just take a good look at this brother right here, right? Does this look like a brother that you would leave around kids? Like, just look at him, right? He looks like he has to be watched around children. Okay? Just look at him. He looks like he's ready to get into some. You know what I'm saying? And you know, my whole thing with this whole ordeal, right? Okay. Now let's get him off the scene, right? Let's get him out of there, right? Here's the deal, right? The man pled guilty. He don't have the rights to do anything at this point. You know what I'm saying? Can't file an appeal, can't do anything because you pled guilty. You agree to the plea bargain, you're guilty as charged. Okay. All of this rap cap about, oh man, this lady disappeared. All of this. Now you got to dance to the beat. You can finesse and try to get over on people out here, but when you get to the plantation, it's game over, man. Okay. They gonna blindfold him. They gonna they gonna tie his hand with duct tape, and they gonna make him walk the plank. Okay. You know them old pirate movies when they would blindfold them. You know what I'm saying? Put that duct tape over their hands and make them walk the plank. And you got all those sharks and stuff down there. They're gonna make them walk the plank. Okay. When he get into penitentiary, this is why when you go to his page, he's showing you all of this workout stuff, right? Because he's gonna need it in there, man. Because the goons and the goblins, that's something you're not gonna get by on. You know what I'm saying? You're either they're gonna do one or two things, right? They gonna extort them. You know what I'm saying? You gonna pay somebody, you know what I'm saying, or you're not gonna be able to walk on that compound, right? You're gonna be extorted, you're gonna pay somebody, or you're gonna go in PC, you know what I'm saying? And then you're just gonna have to live with the, you know what I'm saying, with the other chomos and the you know what I'm saying, the fun boys and all these different people. You're gonna have to go hang out up in there. You know what I'm saying? Those are your one or two options. I mean, because that's one of the things in penitentiary that people ain't playing with, man. You know what I'm saying? You delving into, you know, dealing with young children. Nah, that ain't gonna fly. That's not gonna fly, man. You know, and them guys, they gonna look out for him when he get down there, man. And he need it, man. You know, he need a nice, good spanking because the brother done lost his mind, man. You know, think about this. You're already dealing with a woman, right? Okay. She's an attractive woman, you know, but yet you bypass that to go to the daughter. Like, come on, man. Like that right there is sick. And it sounds to me, right, that in his mind, this is what he thought. He thought in his mind, okay, this woman, this lady's daughter is dysfunctional. She's out into the worldly stuff, the street stuff, because they're telling us that she was on her way to a party. Okay. So you got a 14-year-old at 2:00 in the morning on her way to a party, right? So in his mind, he's already looking and at it like, okay, well, this family's already dysfunctional. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the daughter. You know what I'm saying? He already said him and the mother broke up the day before, the same day, or whatever the case was. So he tried to seize the moment and say, you know what, I'm gonna go target the daughter because him and the wife or the mama had already broke up. You see what I'm saying? And it just happened that it backfired on him. You know what I'm saying? That you got this woman drunk, you got the girl drunk, and then try to perform all this stuff on it. And then they said you was trying to make her throw up. So was she on appeal? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So this stuff is crazy, family. You know, for this brother to go out like this, man. And like I said, Dr. York, his teacher, went out the same way. Okay. Dr. York had to go sit down for Dr. York had to go sit down for about 130 years behind the things that he was charged behind with children. Okay. So I mean, family, it's, the proof is in the pudding, man. Let me say this though, right? When I look at this whole situation, right? The thing that disturbs me is that we got a situation, right, that's going on here in America, right, where women would rather be baby mamas than wives, okay, and be in relationships with, what I'm saying, the baby fathers, right? Whenever you have situations like this, and I don't want to say this is in every case, but number one, this guy was not her father, and it's crazy when you in those type of relationships with women that have children already from past relationships. And it's like, now, this guy that you meet has to come in, and I mean, he comes in and you're looking for him to be, this nice guy, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, that guy is not the father of the children, didn't grow up with the children, you know, and you never really know, you know, what these type of guys like this is up to, man. And it's just sad, man, you know. So it's just we gotta do better, man, you know, with with parenting, and trying to, you know, you got to keep kids and stuff. I mean, I know it's hard, but it's just you got to try to keep them sheltered from that type of stuff, you know. Like she said, you know, she thought the guy was a good guy, thought that he was gonna be, you know, whatever the case may be. But I mean, hey, you know, it's just what it is, man. This guy Polight is sick, man. And when you look at it, right? Okay, I want to add this right here, right? So this guy know he's getting ready to get sentenced, right? Know he's getting ready to go to jail, right? And this is what he's doing, right? Okay, let's get this added to the stream, right? This guy right here knows that he's getting ready to go to jail, right? And this is what he do right here. You at a club, you fake a move, you know, you got these people coming out here, all charges been dropped. Look at them. And if you look at the one lady right there with the bottle, she looking like, look at this clown. You see her right there with the bottle, she looking like, man, ain't this the dude that look at her face right there. Look at her. She looking like, man, I don't want to lose my job, but this the dude right here, man, that like, come on, man. And listen, the guy's he's not remorseful whatsoever. You know, he's out here trying to downplay those charges drop. What charges? You know what I'm saying? And then look at this right here, right? He over here, right? He over here playing with this woman like he really like, you know what I'm saying, adult skirt. Okay? All of that is just for the cameras, man. When the cameras are turned off, you sneak it in bedrooms, man. You know, you in those bedrooms, man. You know, so y'all let me know what y'all thoughts is, man, on this particular case, man. I mean, like fam, like this stuff is crazy, man. You know, the conscious community, this is not a good look, man. You know, and like I said, whenever you look at the conscious community, the guys they don't have any laws and governance on which they're standing by. It's just, you know, they dropping science, they dropping math, they dropping this, they dropping that, but they have no foundation that they're standing on, you know. So I just gave it to you, family. Make sure y'all share this video. Let me do this. If anybody want to come on and let's do this real quick. If anybody want to come on the show, speak on this particular situation, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, tap on the link. Come on in. I'll bring you into the live. If y'all want to leave something in the chat, some comments and stuff, hey, let me know what y'all thoughts is on this, man. You know, yeah, Polight was found guilty, man. He was found guilty, man, of you know, of those charges down there, right? You know, and they beefed those charges up, man. It went to aggravated, you know. So I'm pretty sure man, it's finna be ugly for Holmes, man. I don't think he coming back from this one, you know, because excuse me, it's gonna be hard for him to hide. I mean, like it's all this stuff is public knowledge now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people are gonna do things for money, you know, depending on how long his money is. I don't know how much money that guy got or anything like that, but yeah, he's gonna have to spend a lot of money, you know. So, you know, but anyway, though, family, y'all share this video, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button on y'all way out. If y'all ain't hit the like button, hit the like button. Share this video. And also make sure you guys go and subscribe to the website over there on Israelite Talk. Okay, go sign up to the website, to the subscriptions. We're actually slowly but surely, we're getting ready to hit the 20,000 mark here real soon, man. So make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Y'all stay safe out there tonight, man. And I'm signing off here on Israelite Talk TV.